You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet.
This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook and stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktails series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, The Doug Stewart Show, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce.
Yeah!
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials, because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Yeah, what up? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy. And it's March 15th, or March 10th, 2015. Thank you once again for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. This is the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Thank you so much for joining your boy. And today is a special day, man. Shouts out to everybody already in the chat room. Today is a special day because late last night, on that faithful night, the Doug Stewart Show crossed over 100,000 listens and downloads. Yes! Yes, sir! And let me tell you something, man. This is a huge thing here, man. A huge undertaking, this show, man. It's just a lot has gone into it, so much behind-the-scenes stuff that you have no idea just to get this thing off the ground. I mean, we're actually running a network here. The Stewart Media and Entertainment Network is actually our own thing. I mean, we're doing our own thing. I mean, we're as big as any radio station in the country. We have a reach all over the world. Yes, we do. And so thank you so much, man, for tuning in every single day and passing the word and telling people about the livest, the realest, the trillest, the most unfiltered sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show. I really do appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it. I really do. I really do appreciate it, man. And we have fun around here. If you're new to the show, and we get new listeners every single day. If you're new to the show, it's basically the two live stews, but it's just me. But remember, one stew is better than no stew, okay? And we have a great time. We do it the only way that the stews can do it. All right, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can listen live. We're on iTunes. We're on Android. Somebody hit me this morning, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and they were like, why you never show love to Android? I mean, I guess I'm kind of biased because I have iTunes, I have an iPhone or whatever, but we are available as well on Android, okay? So pass the word to people you know got an Android phone and tell them the Doug Stewart Show is all over the place. That would really be helpful. All right, man. Obviously, today is the start of NFL free agency where teams can sign players. So we're going to get into a lot of that conversation, a lot of NBA talk as well. What else are we going to get into? Some of the particulars as far as free agency in the NFL as well. And today we got a real nice top five, okay? And we do top fives around here a lot, have a lot of fun with that. We didn't talk about it yesterday, and I really apologize in the studio. Shut up. Studio audience is mad at me because yesterday I didn't mention the fact that it was the 19th anniversary of the death of the Notorious B.I.G. And just a horrible, horrible day in music, in hip-hop. Just a horrible day, man. Biggie Smalls, one of the best rappers to ever do it. I got him at number 2 all time. And really I got him at number 2 is because I'm paying homage to the guy at number 1, and that being Rakim, okay? But, I mean, I don't know. This guy's flow, his style was just incredible. Wordplay, metaphors. I mean, Biggie was just, he was nice. He was real nice with his, and we didn't talk about it on yesterday, man. So today we're going to play some of the classic Biggie Smalls tracks, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G., which is a little interesting fact. And today as well, I'm going to read some interesting facts about Biggie you may not have known. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He officially became the Notorious B.I.G. because another rapper had previously trademarked the name. And I remember that. I remember that story when it first came out that he had to change his name from Biggie Smalls, which most of us still call him Biggie Smalls. I'm going to call him Clay. Mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. Kind of like that. So we remember Biggie Smalls, but he actually, on paper, had to change his name to the Notorious B.I.G. So that's an interesting little fact. So we're going to play some of his music today. Today, I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite Biggie Smalls songs of all times. Yes, sir! And so give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts in the chat room as well on Spreaker.com, all right? Make sure you follow the show on Spreaker.com and then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive. Also, when you get a second, all right? You don't have to do it this second, but when you get a second, make sure and remember to download the Doug Stewart Show app, all right? That's in the iTunes store. That's in the App Store for Android. We're on Stitcher. We're on Facebook. But make sure you download my personal app, the Doug Stewart Show app, and that would be a tremendous, tremendous thing to taking this show to new levels. And once again, 100,000 listens, incredible, and just under, I think we're right under 6 months. So that's incredible. That's incredible. And, this is kind of like a grassroots effort, guerrilla marketing. Tree has been very instrumental. The producer to the show has been very instrumental to getting us to where we are today. And in just 6 short months, we've already crossed over 100,000 listens and downloads. So I'm projecting it's going to take like 4 months to do the same thing. And then after that, it's going to take, 3 months. And then it's going to take 2 months. And then at some point, we'll be getting 100,000 listens and downloads every single month. Yes! And our long-term goal is to rule the world. Yes. So, yeah, we are well on our way to ruling the world. So today we're going to talk about some Biggie Smalls, and we're also going to get into, obviously, all of these stories in the world of sports. Now, listen, so yesterday, evidently, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, Stephen A. Smith said some things on First Take, and obviously I don't watch the show live because I'm doing this show and getting ready for this show, preparing for this show, so I don't watch the show live. But evidently Stephen A. said some things yesterday that kind of insinuated that Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles, or Chip Kelly in particular, is racist because he keeps getting rid of these black players. It just so happened that all of the players they're getting rid of, the best players on the team, are black, and something seems fishy about that. Kind of insinuating, people are saying that he was insinuating that Chip Kelly's some type of racist. Now, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Chip Kelly got a BP award from me last week, the Boyle Penis Award, and not one time did I make the association that Chip Kelly was racist because he's getting rid of all of these star black players. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. And I think if you really think about it, that's ridiculous because, I mean, you can't get away with not having black players in the NFL. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I don't buy into that at all. I don't know, and he kind of made reference as well to the fact that they got rid of all these players and they still got Riley Cooper. And so I guess maybe I'd look at it more so, and I went back and looked at the clip and what he said and the whole outrage and furor behind it. I think maybe, and I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't know what's in that dude's head. I think maybe he's just insinuating. He never really said anything about race, and he kind of tried to stay away from it, and he kind of played around the fact or whatever. But I think maybe what he was saying is you're getting rid of all of these guys, these prominent black players, but you keep a player that was very divisive in some of the statements he made, and he's still on the team, and talking about Riley Cooper. And I don't think one has to do with the other, personally. So I don't see the connection. I don't think that Chip Kelly is a racist, and once again, you just can't be a college football player or a college football coach and be successful. I mean, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And you kind of saw that evident yesterday by Bob Stoops appearing in protest to the frat at Oklahoma with the negative racist comments and song that they were singing on that flight, and you saw the video of that. You can't do that. And Bob Stoops had to make a very pronounced statement that he is against those guys and down with these black players. He had to, because you just, once again, it's just to make that association I think is ridiculous. I'm going to give Stephen A. more credit and say that that's not what he was saying. Once again, I think it's just a reflection of you keep Riley Cooper and you get rid of these players. I can kind of see where people are going with that and why they would think that, but I don't see a connection at all. And I've been railing and I've been killing Chip Kelly for the last week, and not once did that even cross my mind. I think it's more so of a situation, and I've said this over the last couple of days, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think it's more of a situation of control and ego. And what Chip Kelly has is a big-ass ego. And he feels like he can get rid of some of these guys that are outspoken, / locker room lawyers, and guys that are, outspoken, and bring in anybody to run his system. I think that's what Chip Kelly feels. I think that's more so the situation than the guy is racist. Now, he may be racist. I don't know anything about that, but I'm not going to judge a guy as that until I know him personally, or he's said something in earnest to make me believe that. I don't know. I don't know anything personally about Chip Kelly. I think it's more so about arrogance. And I think he's the smartest guy in the room, and I said this on yesterday. That's what I think it's about. What are your thoughts on that, man? This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the way to go, man, is the chat room. Yes, sir. Hit me in the chat room on Spreaker.com. And give me your real, honest, passionate sports takes. All right? That's what we do every single day on the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, the Chicago Bears are stuck. Yes, the Chicago Bears are stuck. We'll tell you more about that. Also get into some of these other little stories in the world of free agency in the NFL. I'll read some of your chat, and that's how we're going to do it, man. All right? Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Bad boy, baby.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And it is a Tight to Death Tuesday. Thank you so much for 100,000 listens. And if you hear in the background, you're dead wrong. Number 5 on my list of top 5 favorite Biggie Smalls songs of all time is Dead Wrong. Ooh, this was a classic right here. Now, you know what? This one didn't get a lot of commercial play, obviously because of the content. But this track right here, Dead Wrong, man, was so hard. I mean, just the beat was hard. And if you listen to the lyrics of that track and you remember it, man, that track was just hard as hell. Yeah, so coming in at number 5 on my list of top 5 Biggie Smalls songs of all time is Dead Wrong. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. It's a Tight to Death Tuesday. What are your thoughts on, do you think Chip Kelly or this whole story with Stephen A. Smith, you think it's blown out of proportion? Do you think there's race involved with in factoring in the Philadelphia Eagles and Chip Kelly getting rid of all of these players? And I said it, I've been saying it really for the last 2 weeks. Once again, I gave the guy a Boyle Peanuts Award last week. He's already nominated for another one this week. I think it's very dumb. Let me just say that. I think it's very dumb that they're getting rid of their 4 best players. And once again, don't forget that. They have gotten rid of consecutively or let walk their 4 best players. And we're talking about Jeremy Maclin. You're talking about Deshaun Maclin first, LaShawn McCoy, and then now as well Trent Cole's the defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles. Who does that? I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I think it's dumb. I think it's going to come back to bite them. But I think it's more so a situation where Chip Kelly wants to get rid of some prominent voices in the locker room. He wants to create this college-type atmosphere. And bottom line, I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. It's as simple as that. And I don't think it's going to work. They've gone 10-6 his first 2 years at Philadelphia. But this crap he's pulling right now, we've seen it before. We've seen this before. Steve Spurrier did the same thing. Nick Saban tried to create that type of environment down in Miami. That didn't work out. So there's been many examples of these college coaches coming in and thinking they can, sign a bunch of their former players, as Steve Spurrier did, or run the same things they did in college and speak to grown-ass men like they did when they were 17 and 18 years old. And that's just not going to fly. I don't think that's going to fly. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. I'm going to get some of your chat here in a second. But quickly, this story, Jay Cutler, the Chicago Bears had to come out and make a statement, an adamant statement saying there's absolutely zero truth to the rumors or to the word out there that the Bears have been shopping Jay Cutler. Now, let me say this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I said it before we went to the break. The Chicago Bears are stuck. They are stuck. Simple as that. They're stuck, all right? Under the terms of Jay Cutler's contract, he's scheduled to make $15.5 million in 2015, okay, with an additional $10 million guaranteed salary for injury, guaranteed for injury in 2016. So, in effect, they're stuck on the limb with Jay Cutler because nobody else is going to take on that contract. Nobody else is. Because Jay Cutler, I said the Bears are stuck. Jay Cutler sucks. He does. And it's evident now. It's evident that he sucks. And even if you wanted to trade this guy, if you were the Chicago Bears, you probably can't do it because the team that agreed to take on this guy would be stupid and to pay him the money that he feels or quarterbacks are going to get on the open market. And then if you're the Bears as well, if you get rid of Jay Cutler, I mean, there's not a lot of great free agent talent out there at the quarterback position. So I guess they got to roll with him. So all this statement is, and this coming out and being very behind Jay Cutler as being their quarterback this coming season is basically saving face. They don't have any other choice because they're stuck with the guy. He's going to be their quarterback, and they got to pay him a lot of money. So they want to try to mend fences, for lack of a better phrase. They have to try to mend fences with this guy, and hopefully he can come in with a good frame of mind, a good attitude, and maybe possibly turn things around. And listen now, let me back up for 1 second. Jay Cutler's got tremendous talent, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He's kind of like, and people have made this comparison before, I think I'm the first person to actually do it. He's the modern-day Jeff George, okay? Very good comparison in the fact that strong arm, big-ass arm, can throw the ball all over the place. The guy's got a cannon. But upstairs, the guy is not all the way there. He's not the greatest leader. His mannerisms are just horrible. And he makes dumb decisions a lot of times, okay? But he does have a cannon of an arm. And so that's very in style in the NFL as far as quarterback. So he's going to be in the league, and the Chicago Bears don't have any better alternative right now. He's going to be their guy, so basically you got to get along. You got to figure out a way to get along with Jay Cutler, make him feel comfortable, and hopefully he can give you some of the best play that he has on the field. 404-382-0338. Let me read some of this chat here on the Doug Stewart Show. And thank you so much for the chat, man. I really do appreciate it. I mean, the listeners, they make this show totally interactive. They do. By all the chat, they're kind of like my co-pilots, my co-hosts, my wingmen, and giving me all this great chat to talk about on the show. From Half Hood, Half Prep, Ford Musique, Top 5 Biggie tracks. Number 5, Warning. Number 4, Hypnotized. Number 3, Notorious Thugs. Number 2, One More Chance. And number 1, Juicy. I like your list. Ronald Cameron. I think Biggie borrowed the name Biggie Smalls from the character in the movie Let's Do It Again. Yeah, that's where that movie, that name came from. Biggie Smalls, and I'm surprised they hadn't come out with a Kansas City Mac yet. But yeah, Biggie Smalls got that name from the character on Let's Do It Again. 9 is for Life. The song Biggie did with Bone, I used to skip it after he went off. The same with the song with Total, Laugh Out Loud. I like both of them songs. What are you talking about? Come on. King Kane, Juicy, Big Papa, Get Money, Junior Mafia. Yeah, but Junior Mafia, the Get Money track with Junior Mafia for Biggie Smalls that wasn't his song. He was kind of like a cameo in that, technically. Number 4, Warning. Number 5, Kick in the Door. I love Kick in the Door, too. That made my honorable mention. I'll talk about that later. From Sluggo, Stephen A. gets the Donkey of the Day. I don't know if it's warranted or not. And Donkey of the Day is my man Charlamagne the God's little thing he does on the Breakfast Club, that radio show in New York City. And I've mentioned this before to people that have been listening for a long time to the show from the very beginning. Did you know that Charlamagne the God is from my hometown of Monksville, South Carolina? Yes. I mean, figure that. The fact that you'd have, and I'm going back to when me and my brother did the Two Live Stews, we were syndicated nationally for many, many years. How can you, you couldn't bet that, okay? The chances of you getting struck by lightning twice are bigger than the fact that you got 3 guys from a little small town outside of Charleston, South Carolina, Moncks Corner, that have done national radio. And I mean in an orca big fashion, too. I mean a big one. Yeah. But yeah, Charlamagne the God is from my hometown. And he's actually much younger than me, so I don't really know him. We've kind of, because of the radio game, we've kind of been in contact with each other and have had conversations, and big upped each other for whatnot. I actually went to school with his older sister. She actually rode our bus. So, yeah, very proud of that youngin' on that, man. Let's see. Leon, I don't think you can say Chip is racist. I think that's a stretch. Jungle Brother, nah, Doug, don't play radio. Kelly is suspect. I mean, everybody's suspect. Scotty, Stephen A. is tired of being called an Uncle Tom, so he's trying to act hard to look like he's down for the cause. Fred Mack, Chip Kelly, just dumb. That's it. You let a star running back go and pressure an old about-to-retire running back laugh out loud. That's crazy. Yeah, it's more so dumb and arrogance. And I titled the show today, More Arrogant Than Racist, and talking about Chip Kelly. Yeah, racist is a stretch. I mean, what about the other, what they got, 53 men on a team, 53-man roster? What about the other 40 black guys on the team? And what about the other, 50 guys, black guys he had on the Oregon team? Hey, come on, man. I mean, come on. That's not working. I mean, listen to me. You listen to the Doug Stewart Show. You know I call a spade a spade. That's an oxymoron. I'll call a spade a spade. I never even thought that for 1 minute in talking about this Chip Kelly and Eagles getting rid of their best players. Never even crossed my mind. So I don't get the connection. And I don't think Chip Kelly or Stephen A. Smith. I don't know. I saw the clip. And I do think that's what he was inferring, but nah, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. All right, when we get back from the break, man, speaking of free agents in the NFL, DeMarco Murray, your phone ain't ringing, bruh. It might be a problem. We'll talk about that up next. I'll read more of your chat. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So, I'm probably 6. So, Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield and it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show.
Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Got a player who's hurt? No problem. Injuries won't derail your shot at victory because it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on the way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings. Head to DraftKings.com now and use promo code SPREAKER to play free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
To all the ladies in the place with style and grace. Allow me to lace these lyrical tissues in your bushes. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping Moet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Tight to Death Tuesday. And the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And you hear it in the background right now is Big Papa. And I'm talking about the top 5 Biggie Smalls songs of all time. Kind of remembering the dude. Yesterday was 19 years that he left this earth. And so we're kind of reminiscing a little bit about the top 5 Biggie songs of all time. Coming in at number 5 was Dead Wrong. Coming in at number 4 was Big Papa. Really just love that track. That's one of those top 5, top 10 hip-hop slow tracks of all times. And real mellow joint and real nice, man. So that comes in at number 4 on my list. So I'm talking about Biggie today and a little acronym. BIG is an acronym that stands for Books Instead of Guns. The acronym itself used to stand for Business Instead of Game, but since his death, his foundation gave it a new meaning, which now helps benefit the CWMF Incorporated, a foundation in memory of Big, which helps bring in books and computers for impoverished schools in New York and ATL. So that's some good stuff right there, man. That's some really good stuff right there. Yeah, even in death, still doing some positive things, which is crazy. So number 5 is Dead Wrong on my list. Number 4 is Big Papa. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We talked a little bit in the first segment about Jay Cutler and how the Chicago Bears are stuck. DeMarco Murray may be stuck. The Dallas Cowboys, word on the street is that the Cowboys hadn't talked to him or his agent in over a week. Okay? And today at 4 p.m., teams can sign free agents, so they haven't talked to him in a week. And evidently, we're on the street also as well. And I don't follow the guy, and I don't pay attention to people's Twitter posts as earnestly as I guess I should. But evidently, he's taken away all reference to the Dallas Cowboys from his Twitter account. Yeah, so that doesn't look good. And really, there's not a team out there, if you talk about the rumor mill, that has come out and had real negotiations with DeMarco Curry and made them their focus as far as the guy they're trying to sign. And the running back market is real tough, man. I mean, it's real tough. Have you seen the little video that Steven Jackson did talking about save the running back? The value of running backs has just been decreased so much over the last decade. It's incredible. And it's all due to the fact that the game is much different now. It's a much more wide-open game now. Defensive backs can't beat up wide receivers the way that they used to, so wide receivers are more free, and it's more of a passing league now. I mean, there's no denying that. It's much more of a passing league now, and the running backs, they just don't get the love like when I was growing up. When I was growing up, man, running backs were the ish. I mean, they were the focal point of the teams. You're talking about I don't know, O.J. Simpson, my favorite player of all time, O.J. Simpson and Tony Dorsett and Franco Harris and guys like that, they were the big names. Quarterbacks were big too, but really much more on an even scale as far as prominence and brand back when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, man. And it's just totally different right now. And one thing about DeMarco Murray, I'll say this, and I've been saying it for a long, long time, is I don't trust him. I just don't trust him, man. Had a real issue with injuries throughout his career, even going back to college. And the guy's knock-kneed as hell. His knees just raggedy. And so a running back and taking that many carries, he had over 300 carries, I believe, last year for the Dallas Cowboys. And maybe it's a situation where Dallas is just acknowledging what I've been saying for a long time, is you can't give DeMarco Murray a big deal like that, man. You have to put all types of incentives in it, I believe, because he just hadn't had a history of being healthy. Once again, his knees are raggedy, okay? And a ton of carries last year. That's a risky proposition to give DeMarco Murray the amount of money that him and his agent thinks that he deserves on the open market. So we'll see what happens with that. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, this segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as little as $16.50 per month. All right, here's the deal. If you've ever got a problem with anything dealing with System 5, your alarm system or whatever, you call up there. And I'm going to give you the number in a second, but you call up there and you ask to speak to the owner. Mr. Maceo Brown! Yes, sir! You ask to speak to Maceo Brown, man, and, you know, he's going to take care of you if you tell him that you heard about the company on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so give them a call at 404-756-0736. Once again, 404-756-0736. Or check them out online. Very easy to do. Check them out online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's 5. That's the number 5. System5electronicsinc.com. And tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right, from Eugene Jackson in the chat room. And the chat room is totally interactive. That's what we do here. We read a lot of chat. Chip Kelly, this isn't the Philadelphia Ducks. This is why Frank Gore is going to the Colts. The vets told Gore, you don't want to come here. And that might be the case. If you haven't heard that, Frank Gore yesterday was being talked about, was going to go and take the place of LaShawn McCoy in that Philadelphia Eagle offense, but he's kind of had cold feet and backed out of the deal. And right now the word is he's probably going to sign with the Indianapolis Colts. And, yeah, some backroom conversations may have happened, and they was like, you don't want to come play for this guy. This guy's arrogant as hell. He thinks he's the smartest, dude in the room. And so maybe that did have something to do with the fact that Frank Gore right now, it seems like, isn't going to Philadelphia. From J.B. Jennings, speaking of racism, and this is something that I don't notice on the chat yesterday, how is it that Rory McIlroy gets away with throwing his club in the pond, but when Tiger Woods does anything remotely close to having an outburst on the golf course, it gets blown up? Well, you know why, man. I mean, the reason why is Rory McIlroy's brand isn't near, and it's not even a tenth of what Tiger Woods is. As well as Tiger Woods with all this controversy he's been in over the last couple of years, and the injury issues as well, him, the divorce with his wife. It's just more titillating. It's as simple as that. That ninja. Chip is just like most colonizers. That's a big-ass word. They like their ninjas to behave according to what they feel is a good guy. Anything less than that, and you are expendable. He kept Cooper because he's not offended by the behavior. Niners for life. 2015, and we're talking dealing with racism, shaking my head. Redland Kirk. Was Chip Kelly on that bus with those fools from SAE? Fred Mack. If the Eagles get rid of a running back, you get rid of Sproles, not McCoy. Cutler really going to suck next year. Can't just throw it up and watch Brandon Marshall bail him out, laugh out loud. And part of that's going to go into this as well. I agree. Yeah, that's going to be part of it. Brandon Marshall's a great receiver. And Jay Cutler's not going to have that guy. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Leon, remember when Bobby Petrino was telling the Falcons they could not talk on the bus? Laugh out loud, shaking my head. Yeah, that college mentality. It's grown-ass men, man. rough buff. In the famous words of the late, great Biggie Smalls, Chip Kelly, your time on top is short like leprechauns. That's exactly right. They better win. That's all I know. They better win in Philadelphia. And they've won 10 games the last 2 years. They can't go below that. Yeah. They just can't. Gary Joyner, Jay Cutler got that diabetes. His blood sugar levels are too high sometimes, and it affects his decision making. Now, that's just wrong. I mean, you know, sugar run real deep in my family, man. Be careful about the sugar talk. I mean, seriously. All right, when we get back from the break, Frank Gore, free agents, Darrelle Revis, the hired gun. We'll talk about all that on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medifile, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got you back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
B-I-G-P-O-P-P-A, no info for the DEA, federal agent.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And it's a Tight to Death Tuesday. And you can email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com, or you can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You hear Biggie Smalls in the background. We're talking about top 5 Biggie songs of all times. Actually, it's kind of like my favorite top 5 Biggie songs of all times. Number 5 on my list was Dead Wrong, and number 4 was Big Papa. That song you just heard just now, what was it? More Money, More Problems? That didn't make my list. That's on my honorable mention, but that was a tight track as well. That whole era, and you talk about Bad Boy. That whole Bad Boy era, man, is very, very ingrained in my mind. Because you had all of the artists from Bad Boy, and they were like hot like fish grease. You talk about Biggie, you talk about Toto, Craig Mack, I mean, just classics. Then you brought in Mace. So they were really running it for a minute there, man. And everybody is strange how Bad Boy had their moment in the sun, and then Death Row had their moment in the sun, and it was like, West Coast, East Coast, and then all of the tragedies that occurred and came from that whole West Coast, East Coast thing. Just an incredible time in music, man. And that was right up my wheelhouse. I was just graduating from college, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think Bad Boy hit real hard, like, I'm going to guess like 93, 94. So I graduated college in 93. And so, yeah, they were the lick, man. I mean, Puffy and Mace and Biggie and Total. And I love me some Total. And a lot of people always talk bad about Total. But I like me some Total, man. The chick in the front, the muscle-bound chick that was in the front of the group, they had a nice little vibe. They had a nice little sound to themselves. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to the Atlanta Hawks, man, getting back on the winning track last night as they blow out Sacramento. First to 50 wins this season in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks, 50-13 right now, 30-4 at home as they blow out the Kings 130-105. Jeff Teague, 18 points, 5 boards, 13 assists. I think the Hawks' magic number right now is 8 games. They win 8 games, and they basically they lock in the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, which is a tremendous thing. Coach Budenholzer has to be the coach of the year. I mean, there's no denying that. He's doing a fantastic job. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to start believing. I think we've been burned so much by the Hawks over many, many years, and the fact that they've basically underwhelmed in the playoffs, that people in this city want to see the Hawks win a couple of playoff series, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think you got to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think there's too much shame in them losing in the Eastern Conference Finals to a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James and the great players they have on that team, and when they're starting to gel right now. I think if they go to the finals and they lose in 6 or 7 games to the Cavaliers, I think that's respectable, and it's something they can build off of, because you got to remember, this is a team that hadn't been in this position before. A relatively new coach. So, usually there's a progression to this type of thing. You got to walk before you crawl, and then crawl before you run. So I think if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think it's a great year. It's a fantastic year. And then next year the expectation is to win the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I will say this, and I've been saying this a lot and talking about the Atlanta Hawks. People aren't talking about the fact that the Hawks are going to have home court advantage. I mean, if everything continues, unless we see a collapse of epic proportion, the Hawks are going to have home court advantage. And that's a lot in the NBA. So I do think the Hawks can beat the Cavs. I do. But would I wager my money on them over the Cavs? Probably not. It's just too much. LeBron, how great of a player he is, his history in the playoffs. He's basically been a mainstay in the playoffs ever since he's been in the league. I mean, this is a guy that took the Cavaliers to the championship with a bunch of role players and a bunch of second stringers. And then you add in what he's done in Miami over the last couple of years. So then you factor in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love starting to play a lot better right now. And the bench and the pieces that the Cavs have added, they're going for it this year. They're trying to win it all this year. So I think it's a tough proposition to bet against the Cavs if they were to play against the Atlanta Hawks. I think it would be a tough proposition. But I'm not saying it can't be done, because if it goes to 7, people aren't talking about this. If it goes to 7, it's going to be here at the Highlight Factory. So shouts out to the Atlanta Hawks in winning 50 games already. And strive on, man. Get it done. Go ahead and win these 8 games and lock up the home court advantage in the playoffs in the East, and that would be fantastic. Another little news and note in the world of the NFL. Corey Peters, longtime defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons, has been traded away, or not traded, he's signed or is going to sign. Let me get it right. He's going to sign with the Arizona Cardinals. And he's been I guess you would call him a solid player ever since he's been in the league. What's this, his 6th year for the Atlanta Falcons? This will be his 6th year, or the 6th year that he just passed coming out of Kentucky. He's been a solid player, but never really a starter, never a guy that's going to give you a ton of plays coming off the bench. So he's been I'm really being, generous in saying that he's been solid. Best year as far as sacks, he had 5 sacks in 2013. So not really a game breaker or a game changer or anything like that. Just a solid player, consistently, healthy and on the field. 1 year in 2012, he only played 10 games. But outside of that, he's played 15 or more games every single year. And that's a valued asset. That's a valued commodity when you got a guy that's pretty much you can count on to be in there and give you snaps. And so he's going to sign with the Arizona Cardinals. Really not that big of a deal for the Falcons. I'm looking to see the Falcons to make some moves. Really haven't done a lot as far as conversation and what they're going to do and who they're going to try to bring in. I had mentioned it a couple of days ago that I would have been, a couple of weeks ago, I would have been happy to see them try to go after Ndamukong Suh. I guess that was just pie in the sky thinking, because that's not going to happen. Ndamukong Suh is going to go and play for the Miami Dolphins. I also threw out, I thought they should, make an attempt for Greg Hardy. I read a story in the paper this morning from a man, D. Orlando Ledbetter, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, in a statement made by Thomas Dimitroff. He was asked the question, are you guys in the market for Greg Hardy? And Thomas Dimitroff said emphatically no. I mean, and you know the deal. You know the deal with the Falcons organization, with Arthur Blank, whether that was due to all the shenanigans that went down with Mike Vick and dog fighting and all of that crap or not. Falcons are gun shy on guys with character questions. They are. And, it's a thin line, man. It's a thin line. I understand any team, any organization in sports wants to have character guys. But, man, sometimes you got to get nasty, mean, raunchy players. It's as simple as that. You have to, man. And this whole policy of not even entertaining bringing in a guy with a quote-unquote checkered past like Greg Hardy, I think is a mistake, man. You got to have a good mesh. You got to have some real killers on your team, man. And I'm saying that, metaphorically, all right, not literally. You got to have some real killers on your team. You do, man. And Greg Hardy, not convicted of what he was accused for, the domestic violence. And somebody's going to take him. Somebody's going to take him. He's going to be a big part of somebody's team. And the Falcons I think they really limit themselves when they just throw that out there. And I don't know, maybe there are some guys that the Falcons, and they kind of made a point to say, Dimitroff kind of made a point to say in the story that I read, that they'll look at anybody, but it just so happens that they have this policy. And in this particular case with this guy, I guess kind of hedging the statement a little bit, saying that they aren't interested in Greg Hardy. Why wouldn't you be interested in Greg Hardy? I mean, seriously. Why wouldn't you be interested in Greg Hardy? Okay? Yeah. He did something. He was accused of something in the past. In effect, he's beaten that case. And I would think a guy like Greg Hardy is going to be on his P's and Q's. He's never going to make these mistakes again. I don't think, unless he's stupid, he's never going to be in a position where a woman's going to accuse him of these type of things. That's kind of how I look at it. He's going to cross all of his T's and dot all of his I's, you would think, going forward. And this is a guy that gets after the quarterback. Simple as that. And you need that in the NFL. You aren't going to win a Super Bowl with a team full of choir boys. It just doesn't work like that. This sport is a sport of nasty, pretentious, spit in your face killers. It is, man. It is. So I didn't like to hear that. Me or the studio audience didn't like to hear that. But that's pretty much the Falcons, man. And as a city, I guess we're fine with it. I don't know how much arguing you can do about it, or changing the minds of the brass at Flowery Branch. I don't know. I guess not. But I don't like that, man. You got to have real nasty guys to win games in the NFL. All right, when we get back from the break, damn, it's hour number 2 already, man. Thank you once again for crossing the 100,000 listen plateau on the Doug Stewart Show, man. I really do appreciate it. When we get back from the break, we're going to continue to talk about this free agency in the NFL. And, I'll mention some other little stories as well. And still counting down the top 5 Biggie Smalls tracks, songs of all times. All right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2. Shouts out to my producers, man. Y'all like the new show open? Yeah. I had to flip it a little bit, man. We got to change it up every once in a while. Thank you so much for joining your boy. March 10th, 2015, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. And if you're just joining me, man, monumental day today because the Doug Stewart Show crossed over 100,000 listens and downloads. And I really do appreciate it. I really do, man. So continue to tell people about the show. I mean, tell one person a day. That's all that I ask. And I mean, you can kind of give me like an anniversary gift today. All right? Give your boy an anniversary gift and tell one person about the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, that would be fantastic. That would be a great gift. I mean, a fantastic gift. Tell one person about the Doug Stewart Show. Also today, we're talking about the top 5 Biggie Smalls songs of all times. Kind of reminiscing about that guy. Yesterday, it's been 19 years since Biggie is gone. And it's real crazy, man, because this is did I come here in 94 or 95? I think I came here in 95. So this is my 20th year in Atlanta. And yeah. 19 years ago, so after 1 year was when the death of Biggie Smalls happened. And you know how things happen where you remember exactly where you were at the time something happened. And this was one of those situations. I remember exactly where I was at when I heard about Biggie dying. It was like a Sunday morning. I think it was a Sunday morning. And I got a phone call, and I woke up early that morning, and I got a phone call. Did you hear about Biggie? What? Yeah, he had died. He got killed in L.A., so real tragic stuff. So it's 19 years ago yesterday. Apologize for not mentioning it yesterday. I guess it's kind of like a belated anniversary remembrance of the great B.I.G. today on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. I'm reading some of these little known facts about Biggie. His mom called him Chrissy Poo, and I think I've heard her say that before. As a child, after Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, that's not a real good nickname for a rapper. I mean, you one of the hardest rappers ever. Your mama call you Chrissy Poo? That's cute. So we're talking about that today. Number 5 on my list of top 5 Biggie songs of all time was Dead Wrong. One of the hardest tracks ever. Kind of slept on because it didn't really get a lot of commercial appeal. I guess they didn't do, or they couldn't do probably, a PG-rated version. But I love that track. If you listen to it, man, once again, his wordplay was just crazy. And that beat on that song was just hard as hell. Number 4 for me was Big Papa. And I haven't given you number 3 yet. I'll give you number 3 in the next segment. 404-382-0338. Let me read some of this chat. I really do appreciate the chat once again. Thank y'all so much for being totally interactive on the Doug Stewart Show. It's kind of like our show. I read so much chat, it's kind of like our show. From Vince Wright. I don't know how I feel about Stephen A. sometimes. Sometimes he's okay, but sometimes my ears bleed listening to him. And if you're just joining me, I talked about in the first segment, I guess a quasi-controversy. Stephen A. kind of intimated yesterday that, black people that he knows, he kept using the term brothers, feel like that Chip Kelly is racist because he's getting rid of all the top black players, and he kept a guy like Riley Cooper who made those racial comments last year, or was it last year or maybe the year before, and he's still on the team. And I don't know about that. I don't think that's a connection at all, because that's just silly to say a coach has got a bias against black players when I'm going to guess 60-70% of the team is black. And he's been very successful. He couldn't have been a successful college coach without black players. So that doesn't make sense to me at all. I think it's more so of a situation where he's trying to get rid of big personalities. He's trying to get rid of guys that have a voice in that locker room, and he's trying to mold that locker room into a bunch of undergraduates. Yeah, and that's just not going to work. I mean, I just think that's ridiculous. You'll see. Steve Spurrier tried the same thing, and it didn't work. K3000, can Doug add a birthday roll call? It's my birthday. It's my born day. Man, happy born day, K3000. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Let's see what else we got here. Gerald. LA should push hard for Kevin Durant next season. With Westbrook doing his thing right now, there's no way he stays. I don't know the terms of their contracts. I don't know when their contracts are due, and I kind of mentioned yesterday about possibly getting Westbrook in L.A. I'd take Kevin Durant too, being a Laker fan. I'd take him too. I don't know the terms of their deals. It seems like I remember Durant just doing a deal a couple of years ago where he's not going to be a free agent anytime soon. I need to look that up. From Eugene Jackson, no, Steve Kerr is the coach of the year. Are you kidding me? Steve Kerr got 2 of the best players in the game, and Klay Thompson and what's his name, Steph Curry, and he's got a bunch of great role players. The roster for Golden State is way better than the roster of the Atlanta Hawks. It is, and I guess what I'm saying is, if you ask fans of the NBA, I think it would be overwhelmingly fans would say that the roster and the starting 5 and the team that the Golden State Warriors has is better than the Atlanta Hawks. So, no, Coach Bud is definitely the coach of the year right now. I'd be shocked if Steve Kerr were the coach of the year right now. And you got to remember, I mean, they were winning 50 games a year under Coach Jackson. What's his name? Mark Jackson. They were winning 45, 56, 55 games a year under Mark Jackson. So I'm not saying Steve Kerr ain't doing a great job, but I'm saying Coach Budenholzer is doing a lot more with a lot less. with a team that historically hasn't been good, okay, year in and year out. Golden State have had it cooking over the last couple of years. Mark Jackson did a fantastic job. Personalities got into it, and he's gone, I guess. But don't act like, they're playing with chopped liver over there at Golden State. I disagree with you, Eugene Jackson. And it's Eugene Jackson, the Hawk hater. I mean, I don't even know why I'm paying him any mind anyway. This guy is a consummate Hawk hater. How dare you? Max Jones, and you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. I'd rather have Westbrook in L.A. instead of Durant. I mean, let me step back for a second and think about that. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Would I rather have Westbrook or Durant? A healthy Durant. Man, I'm scared to even answer that question because it might come back to bite me down the road. I don't know. Let me think about that. I'm not going to give an answer right now. That's a real tough question. As a L.A. Laker fan, would you rather have the hometown boy, in Russell Westbrook, or would you rather have the Slim Reaper and Kevin Durant, a.k.a. Durantula? Ooh, let me think about that for a second. From Leon, not really a Hawks fan, but I can make the argument that the Hawks have more playoff experience than the Cavs. Huh? With who? Well, the Hawks have made it to the playoffs, but they haven't had any real success in the playoffs. So you're talking about Horford and Teague. Then you're talking about Millsap. When Millsap was, who did he play for? Did he play for Utah for many years? Did they make it to the playoffs? I don't know. I don't see that. Who else? You talking about DeMarre Carroll and Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver has been around a long time. No. It's probably close as far as not between the Cavs. I just reverted back to the conversation between them and the Golden State Warriors. LeBron's probably got more playoff experience by himself than the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going to guess that. So I don't know. Give me more information on that, Leon. Hit me in the chat room on Spreaker.com. From Jungle Brother, Juicy #1. Everybody's got Juicy at #1. #2, One More Chance remix. #3, Pray for My Downfall. I love that track too. I've got that on my honorable mention. #4, I Love the Dough featuring Jay-Z. #5, Nasty featuring Lil' Kim. I love that nasty beat. You nasty boy, you nasty. I love that beat. And Biggie really flipped it in that one too. I mean, really. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. We had this conversation on Facebook this morning, and make sure you follow the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page. All right, make sure you do that on Facebook. It's the after party. It's the party after the party. And we had this little thing going on this morning when I woke up, and they were talking about who had the best album or the best songs or whatever, or whoever was better between Keith Sweat and R. Kelly. And I made the point that, listen, R. Kelly's probably had a better career, but you got to go far and few between to come up with a better album than Keith Sweat's first album. Keith Sweat's first album was bananas. Like, you could let that whole thing play, okay, from start to finish. And classics on that Keith Sweat album. So I'm going to say Keith Sweat had a better album. The best album out of the two artists. R. Kelly probably had the best career. But that first Keith Sweat album was just a bomb. And the point of me bringing that up is, and talking about Biggie, is there's probably 10 songs that Biggie did. Maybe 10 or 15. Just lyrically, he just killed it. And that's why a lot of people regard him as one of the best rappers to ever do it. Some people say the best to ever do it. Is because, I mean, you go back to any of these tracks. I mean, Who Shot You, Big Papa, Party and Bullish, Juicy. I mean, just lyrically, he was so witty and so quick with it. And I mean, his metaphors were just phenomenal. They were. And relatively speaking, I mean, his catalog isn't that big, obviously, but man, in just a short time, you just saw the greatness in this guy, man. You absolutely saw the greatness in this guy. And so that's why today we're talking about the top 5 Biggie songs of all times. Yes, sir. When we get back from the break, I'm going to read more of your chat. We'll talk more about free agency in the NFL. We'll talk about some of the other prominent names out there and where they're supposed to go or where they'll probably go, and continue to do what we do. Sports talk for the people. Yeah, don't go anywhere. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is the Doug Stewart Show, and it is a Tight to Death Tuesday. And you hear in the background, coming in at number 3 on my top 5 Biggie Small songs of all times is Hypnotized. Yes, sir. I mean, just lyrically, this guy was a beast. This guy was a beast, man. And the beats did help. I mean, Puff had the real tight beats back during that time, that era, Bad Boy. So coming in at number 3 on my list of top 5 Biggie Small songs of all times is Hypnotized. Number 5 is Dead Wrong. Number 4 is Big Papa. And number 3 is Hypnotized. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right, so free agency today. Teams can sign guys. And I think that goes down at 4 p.m. Yes, I am sure about that, 4 p.m. So we've already talked a little bit about Frank Gore. Word on the street is that he's kind of leaning towards the Indianapolis Colts, kind of having second thoughts about going to play for Chip Kelly and all of that, stuff, catastrophe of an organization going on right now, getting rid of their 4 best players over the last 2 years. So he's got cold feet about those guys, and now it looks like he's going to Indianapolis. You've heard the latest about Darrelle Revis. The word on the street is it's a 2-team race. The Patriots didn't, take the or didn't pick up the $20 million option in Darrelle Revis' contract. So he's technically a free agent right now. And Revis has done this for many, many years. Well, he'll sign a 1-2-year deal and basically go in the open market. I mean, he's like a hired gun. Kind of reminiscent of how Deion used to be when he left Atlanta. going to San Francisco and then going to Dallas. He was a hired gun. And if you believe in your skill set like that, where you don't want to take a long-term deal, I got nothing but respect for you. I think it's risky as hell, but it's worked out for Darrelle Revis. But basically, it's a two-team race right now, word on the street. The Patriots still do want him. He wants to stay there. Then he might go back to the team that drafted him out of college, and that's the New York Jets. So we'll see what happens with that as well. We already talked about Patrick Willis on yesterday, kind of like breaking news late yesterday evening, where he's going to retire from the San Francisco 49ers. He's going to retire and call it a career, actually. So he is done. And I don't know. I haven't really heard anything definitive as far as why he's going to retire. He had the toe injury issue, issue last year, which has ended many a careers. That's pretty much what ended Deion Sanders' career. I'm talking about primetime again. You can't do anything without your damn big toe. It's as simple as that. And I don't know if that's part of the reasoning. I've also heard some rumblings out there that in effect he's found God and he feels like he has a bigger calling back in his hometown. I think he's from Mississippi, and something dealing with kids and, helping kids and that type of thing, charity work. And so if that's the case, then that's admirable as well. So he's done as of right now, and I think the 49ers are still trying to talk him into coming back. I don't know what's the deal with that. We also talked a little bit about DeMarco Murray. Also, Julius Thomas, the defensive end for the Denver Broncos. It looks like he's going to sign a big-ass deal. And that's the best way I can put it, a big-ass deal to play with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, you may be saying to yourself, why would he leave the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning to go and play for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who historically have really sucked over the last couple of years because of money? $9 million a year is what they're saying that he's going to get, and the Broncos just couldn't afford that. And let's be honest, the Broncos are probably going to be able to plug somebody in there that we don't even know about right now, and they're going to catch a lot of passes from Peyton Manning. Okay, but once Julius Thomas signs this contract for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's expected to be worth around $20 million with $8 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money for a tight end. And dude is a good player. I mean, really broke out last year, had a fantastic season. He's had little injury issues as well where he's been nicked up and he's sat. There's been some controversy about him being able to play and whether he has the heart to go out there and be, a dominant tight end in the NFL. Basically saying he's kind of fragile, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, they had to get in a target for Blake Bortles, and a big body like that, a guy that can split out, kind of play like Jimmy Graham, kind of like Gronkowski, a guy that can split out. He's a pass-catching tight end. So that's going to be a big target for Blake Bortles and his maturation there in Jacksonville. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. So we're going to obviously start getting in news about guys and where they're going to sign at the closer we get to this signing period today. So we're going to keep our eyes on all of that stuff today on the Doug Stewart Show. We'll talk a little bit of basketball here in a second. And also, I saw the Dogs and Poodles and the Stewies yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, talking about that Suge Knight story, him running over a couple of dudes, killing one. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Actually, in a minute, I'm going to take this call right now, but we're going to get Tree on to talk about that in a little while about this whole story. I want to get her thoughts on it. But, caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name, where you calling from, and what you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's happening?
T from Huntsville. You didn't even have to announce yourself. I know who it was.
What's up with you, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing? What you got?
I'm doing so as always, man. I wanted to toss my top 5 in there right quick for top 5 songs on B.I.G.
Okay.
Right off the top, man, I went with straight lyricism, and I eliminated any duets, so I just went with songs he did by himself.
Okay.
So for me, at number 5, Give Me Respect from the first CD.
Okay.
Lyrically, he crushed that song, that Jamaican beat behind it. And full disclosure, you made me change this one right here. Dead Wrong. I almost forgot about that cut.
Oh, my gosh.
Dead Wrong at number 4. Lyrically, that was a beast of a song.
Yeah.
And the remix with Eminem was straight, too. For number 3 for me, give me a Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. Lyrically one of my favorite songs.
Hey, and you keep saying lyrically. You keep saying lyrically. But you're exactly right, and that's what I talked about, man. If you listen to the wordplay in his songs, man, this dude was like a lyrical genius, man. Some of the stuff and the metaphors that he just used to throw out there were like way ahead of their time, man.
Yeah, real nice. I mean, that's what makes MC to me, you know, unlike the garbage that they throw out there today.
Right.
Number 2, Big Papa, because that really introduced him for me. When I heard that song, I said, okay, this cat right here legit. Then I started researching him and going back over some of his old stuff. And number 1 for me, and again, lyrically, One More Chance, the original. From the beginning to end, man, he is spitting hardcore in that song. I mean, just like you said, metaphors and just killing it.
Yeah.
And that's my list, man. Just my personal list, man. Just like the personnel decision making of Chip Kelly, I'm gone.
And he's gone. Appreciate the call. He called 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Tree, come on for a second. Jump on the mic, Tree. Okay, let's see. There you go. You there? All right. We gotta get that fixed. But I want to talk about this whole Suge Knight thing here in a second. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is hold that conversation until we get back from the break. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Have you seen the video? Suge Knight running over 2 guys, killing one of them. I want to talk about it, man, because it's been like a big conversation in this country. And I've been meaning to talk about it. I actually watched the video for the first time last night because I didn't want to even watch it. But I felt that I need to watch it so I can give a real honest perspective on it. And we'll talk about that as well as everything else that we do on this show when we get back from the break. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. Or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. And I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it? Peanuts? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. Yeah! It's a Tight to Death Tuesday. And we're talking about the top 5 Biggie Smalls songs of all times. 19 years ago yesterday, he left this earth. And, just paying a little homage. It's not a celebration or anything. Paying homage to one of the greatest rappers to ever do it. And you hear in the background, number 2 on my list of top 5 Biggie songs of all times. One More Chance. Ooh. Yes. And if you remember this track and this video, this is the video that had the cameo from all of the stars. I think Mary J was in it. Like, they had a bunch of people in the recording industry in this video, and it was just classic. Biggie Smalls is smooth ass, black as ugly as ever. However, he wears Gucci down to the socks. That dude was good, man. That dude was good. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. I want Tree to jump on the mic here for a second. Jump on the mic for a second, Tree.
Hello.
So I asked you, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I asked you to go and watch the video of Suge Knight where he runs over 2 guys, kills one of them. It's an absolute miracle that the other guy didn't die either, because he got ran straight over as well. But I watched the video last night for the first time because everybody was talking about it, and they were talking about it hot and heavy a couple of days ago in the chat room, and I kept forgetting to mention it. Now, I initially wasn't going to watch it because I don't like to watch things like that. When athletes get hurt on the field, I usually look away because I just don't like to see it, okay?
Right.
And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and watch this thing. I watched it. You just watched it. What are your thoughts?
Well, I had to watch it like 3 times. So, not because I'm a fan of Marion, okay?
That's his real name. That's Suge Knight's real name, Marion.
But I think that the prosecution will have a problem. Maybe. The only thing that could work for the prosecution is that he came back, like, after he hit the first time. I'm not sure why he hit the second time, but he could always say that he was not in his right mind. He was afraid, which he said that already.
Right. And for people that haven't seen it, I mean, he literally, okay, this one guy, and it's funny. It's not funny, I guess. That's not the right words to use. This guy, Cleabone Sloan. And you've seen this guy before. He's been in a lot of, like, gang documentaries. He actually had somewhat of a prominent role in Training Day. And if you Google a guy's name, people listening to the show right now, if you Google the guy's name, Cleabone Sloan, you're going to know exactly who the guy is. He's very relevant in gang talk and documentaries, that type of thing. So he runs up. Evidently, they had been filming a commercial for the documentary on NWA at one place, and they left that place. He was like ran off. Suge Knight was ran off from this one site that they were filming. They relocated to a different place, and evidently Suge, followed them and showed up at this other place that they were filming. And this guy, Cleabone Sloan, ran up to the car like, Mickey Ficky, we just told you to stay away from around here. Like, whatever the beef is, I don't know. Death Row and Dr. Dre and all of that. So
Marion likes to insert himself in everything.
Yeah, they already told the guy to leave, and he came back. And so this Cleabone Sloan guy, the guy that I told you've seen in all these documentaries, he's like head of security. He runs up to the car, and it looks like they're fighting. And then Suge like backs away and knocks him down, and he's on the ground. And then the way the camera was, Suge's truck like got out of the picture, and then the truck came back in the picture, and he ran the Sloan guy over. And somehow this guy lives, I don't know how, because he got ran clean over, and he runs over the second guy and kills this guy. Tree, I agree with you. I think it's going to be hard to convict Suge of this. Listen, I'm just being honest. I'm being real, because the other part of the story is when Sloan ran up to the car, he started allegedly hitting Suge through the window.
And you can see that on the video.
You can see that. You can see the guys already accosting Suge. And Suge knows these guys are like former Crips and Bloods, or not even former. They're Crips and Bloods. They're in Compton. And, he feels like the guy's going to kill him. He's going to pull out his gun and shoot him maybe at some second.
Listen, Douglas, L.A. is sick of Marion just like they were of OJ. And so they are going to do everything
I
in
agree
their
with that.
power.
I agree with that. But I can honestly understand him not getting convicted, because he's fighting with a known gang member. You don't know what the guy's saying to him. You don't know if Suge sees the gun. He knows the scenario. He backs out. And now the part of the conversation was, why didn't he turn down that one road that you saw? Right. Suge's comments were basically, there were more people going down that path that would have been a threat to him as opposed to the path that he took. So in effect, he's going to say, I was scared for my life.
The city of LA needs to just get in acceptance mode. Marion is the Teflon Don of the underground music world. He ain't going nowhere. I'm not confident in the judicial system being able to take this dude out, because you remember those lawyers that your boys had on The Wire? He's strapped like that.
Yeah, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And also another part of the video is the guy, Bone Sloan, that got ran over, that survived. When he got ran over, another dude ran up to him, and you could clearly see him pull a gun off of Sloan. He pulled a gun off the guy off the ground and put it in his back waistband. So, yeah, the guy was strapped.
But listen, he was security for that shoot.
Yes,
that
I don't
scene
know.
They were sitting.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and all this is just speculation. And it's kind of ironic. We're talking about Suge Knight. A lot of people feel like had something to do with the death of Biggie Smalls, which we'll never know. But, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I can really see Suge beating this. I can. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Just tragic. And the first guy, I need to find out, and Tree, maybe you can research and see what the condition of the first guy that got ran over that survived. He's got to be screwed up. I mean, seriously. If you see this video, and this is a big-ass truck that Suge's driving, big-ass red truck, Suge runs the guy clean over, and he survives. I don't know what the status is once again, but really, really a weird, tragic story. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. And you know Suge Knight's going to have the best lawyers money can buy. You know he is. You just know he is. So it's not going to be like a walk in the park, and all of the variables involved, former Crips and Bloods, and in Compton, and it's a volatile situation. They're already fighting. Yeah, it's reasonable to believe that these dudes are about to kill me. Yeah, it's very reasonable. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
What's up, Douglas? This is East Coast.
East Coast.
Jersey
What's up,
in the
man?
house.
What's up, Vern?
Hey, man, just chilling down here, man. Listen to a good show, man. Grade A show.
Appreciate it.
Listen, man, I got one thing on Biggie and one thing on Suge, right?
Okay.
Biggie, man, a lot of people didn't know, and I knew it because I used to do a little interning at Hot 97 back in the days. Biggie never wrote nothing down. He used to just go out and spit, man. After he had smoked or he drank some hand, he used to just flow, man.
Right.
Just flowing. And whoever was behind him, his little sidekick run around like little C's or somebody, they'd write down everything he said, man. So all them classics he put out there, man, he never wrote them down, man.
Freestyle,
He didn't believe in writing. Yeah, he's just a freestyling brother, man.
Yeah.
But on Suge, man, I know y'all not sitting up there feeling sorry for this man, man. This man.
Wait! Stop! When did you hear me say I feel sorry for Suge?
No, I mean Trio. They're talking about he gonna get off. I don't want him to go nowhere.
That doesn't mean we feel sorry for him. We're commenting what we think or speculating what we think might happen with this case.
But hold up. All that Suge did throughout the days, right? He needed what he got, but you can't condone him running over somebody.
Who's condoning it? Who's condoning it?
If you a bad man, you supposed to got out there with just 6.
How about that, Vern? How about that? 404-382-0338. Where in the conversation that me and Tree had about that case, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, with Suge running over the guy, did we condone or we're feeling sorry for him? We were talking about what we think or speculating what we thought, might happen based on what we saw from that video. As simple as that. Damn, Vern. We know you East Coast, and you just go talk trash about anything. Stop it, Vern. 404-382-0338. I'm glad I got my little gat for you, Vern. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read some more of your chat here on the Doug Stewart Show. And Vern does that all the time. If you're new to the show, Vern always call up his sickening self. I mean, Vern's just sickening. I love him, but he's just sickening as hell. Let's see. From William Mack, Greg Hardy has been fighting those demons since he was in college. It was well known down here, but it's now coming to the light in the league. All that said, he produces on the field, and the NFL is a bottom line business, and the bottom line is Greg Hardy makes plays. I talked about him a little bit earlier. From Jungle Brother, I like the analogy, Doug. You need killers on your team. Terry Campbell. Doug Wilden saying Greg Hardy because of the case and dotted I's. Keeping it real, don't you have to somewhat be flawed of a character to play D-line in the NFL? Yeah, man, you can't be like a normal, everyday guy. I mean, you hitting guys and running into guys for a living. I'm talking about football in general. And that's even intensified. You talking about those linemen. Every single play, and talking about Greg Hardy a little bit earlier, you got contact. You got turmoil. You got to have a nasty disposition to play defensive lineman in the NFL. I just think that's inherent. You have to have that. And talking about Greg Hardy. From Gerald, the Falcons go after Patrick Willis. Just buy him some Dr. Scholl's inserts. From Jersey Vern. Here comes Jersey Vern calling in, texting. Enough with the Falcons are done, Doug. Shut up, Vern. William Mack, Jed York is trumpeting that same thing as Arthur Blank, but the GM Trent Baalke has reached out to Greg Hardy, and there's reportedly mutual interest. They had the issue with San Francisco with the Ray McDonald guy. I don't know exactly what the outcome of that is. I think he beat it. I think the charges were dropped against him. Niners for life. Will there be any rappers from today that will be talking about 20 years from now? Oh, well, definitely Jay-Z, but Jay-Z kind of is in that demographic of back in the day as well. So definitely Jay-Z. And Jay-Z is another guy, speaking of what Vern talked about earlier, that allegedly doesn't write down his lyrics. So definitely Jay-Z. Will we be talking about Weezy 20 years from now? Once again, I'm a Weezy fan. I respect Weezy. I mean, he's good. Is he legendary, though? I don't know. Not Blake. What's the guy's name? Drake? Hell to the no. Even though I like a lot of Drake stuff, but nah, he ain't legendary. He's not on that scale. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody out there right now that's going to be talked about like we talk about Biggie and Tupac and Jay-Z and those guys 20 years after the fact. I don't think so. All right, we get back. Speaking of Biggie Smalls, I'm going to tell you my number one all-time Biggie song is, and you kind of know what it is. I mean, it's not hard at all. We'll also talk about some of the other honorable mentions as well. 19 years, the B.I.G. gone home to glory. Wrap up today's show, too. Damn, this show flies by. Yes, sir. And I'll get into some more of your chat. All right, don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So, I'm probably 6. So, Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield and it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show.
Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com. America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Got a player who's hurt? No problem. Injuries won't derail your shot at victory because it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on the way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings. Head to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com, bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from, that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. And all the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy.
I mean, you know what it is. The #1 Notorious B.I.G. song of all time is Juicy, the first song that Biggie came on the scene with, man. I mean, just classic with that M2 beat. I mean, just classic. Just classic, man. So all day long today, we've been talking about the top 5 Biggie Small songs of all time. Yesterday was the 19th anniversary of his passing. Number 5, Dead Wrong, which I still think is slept on. Number 4, Big Papa. Number 3, Hypnotized. Number 2, One More Chance. And number 1 is Juicy. 404-382-0338. Still got some time to give me a call if you'd like. I'm also going to read some of your chat here. Last segment, we were talking about this whole Suge Knight thing, running over 2 guys, killing 1. We found out that the guy, during the break, Tree found out for me, that the guy, Cleo Sloan, the first guy that was hit, that survived, right now he still can't walk. And if you saw the video, he was like laying on the ground, motionless. He kind of moved his head a little bit. And then also, the story that Tree pulled up said that he was some type of technical advisor as opposed to security. Now, the way TMZ tells the story is he was security. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what the concealed weapon laws are in California, because clearly he had a gun on him. Yeah, clearly he had a gun on him if you saw the video. So it's real dicey, man. It's real dicey. So what are your thoughts on that? A lot of chat in the chat room about that. Let me read some of it from Jam 2. Marion had no business being there, Marion. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's going to cost a truckload of money, but it will be hard to convince a jury that running over someone twice is legit. Remember that rich white woman who ran over her husband? She was convicted, Tree. I think you need to get your cookies and cake ready. From Vince Wright. Marion broke too, I hear. Max Jones, the streets don't respect Suge. Real talk. From Juan Cruz, Suge is a grown-ass man and still getting in trouble. That's the crazy thing about this. Is Suge Knight is 49 years old and still getting into crazy foolishness like this. Like, and somebody mentioned it, my man Jam 2 mentioned it in the first segment, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Like, he had already been run off. The way the story is, he had already been run off from one scene or one set where they were shooting video for this new biopic movie on NWA. And he shows up again at the second location. Like, why? Like, why? What do you, I don't know. He might have been drunk or high or something. But, like, why do you show back up again to instigate stuff in Compton? You know, and I've never really, I've never been to Compton, per se, that city. But it's kind of got a reputation. Okay? It's kind of got a reputation. And some of the people that you're dealing with, this guy Sloan that we've been talking about in this story, the guy that actually survived this hit and run, he's a known gang member. Once again, been in many documentaries for this type of thing, man. And, like, why do you go back there and fuel this fire, instigate this whole thing? But one thing has nothing to do with the other. Why he comes back is stupidity in my point. But why he did what he did in a court of law with a good-ass lawyer, it kind of makes sense. It does. I'm just keeping it real. From that ninja, Tree, you killing me, Marion. Yeah, that's his name, Marion Suge Knight. Suge is his nickname. So very interesting stuff, man. They've got a bond hearing, I think it's Monday, or this coming Monday, I think Tree told me. And we'll see what happens. I mean, is he going to make bond? Is he going to make bail? Whew. If you factor in his history, and I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if you factor in his history and, everything that he's been involved with, obviously, for over 20 years, if they factor that into it, then he ain't making bail. But if it's just solely based on this case, in this scenario, and the evidence that they have thus far, he might. I don't know. Shouts out to Anthony Davis, man. Last night he goes off. 43, 10, 6, 1, and 2. 43 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 2 block shots. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about it. Which one of these young guys, guys that are in the conversation for the MVP, which one of these guys would you start your franchise with? And I think ultimately, at the end of the day, I think I said I would take Anthony Davis because he's a big guy. He can play pretty much 3 positions, small, power, and center. Long as hell, great skill set, young as hell. I think he's like 22 years old. And this guy's already one of the top 5 players in the game. Yeah, just a beast of a game last night. They actually beat the Milwaukee Bucks 114-103, and he has a tremendous game. I mean, a tremendous game. That kid, nothing but talent. And Rick Pitino, or not Pitino, the Italian guy, John Calipari has just got a roster full of them dudes, man. Like Cauley Stein and Towns. Like, they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be as great as Anthony Davis in the pros, but they have an upside that's just tremendous. I mean, they got an upside just from hell. They're going to be fantastic players in the NBA and going to get even better than they are right now at Kentucky. I don't see anybody beating Kentucky, and I think I've said that already. I'm on the record for saying I think Kentucky's going to go undefeated this year. I just don't see why they will lose. I don't see it. Too much talent. I mean, you got the Harrison twins. What do these guys measure? 6'5", 6'6", big-ass, long guards. The Lee guy. Stein and Towns. I mean, they got like 8 or 9 players, I think I counted, that are going to play in the NBA. Most definitely. I like Kentucky to win the whole thing. And I'm not saying anything that a lot of people haven't said, but I really think they're going to roll, and they're going to be the second team since Indiana did it, I believe, in 76 or 77 to go undefeated in college basketball. One last Biggie note here. Biggie attended the prestigious Catholic high school Bishop Laughlin Memorial. You know who else went to that high school? Rudy Giuliano, Golden State Warriors basketball coach, or former coach, Mark Jackson, and Dougie Doug. You remember Dougie Doug from Cool Runnings? All of those guys attended that school. Evidently, Biggie was pretty smart. He was like book smart, too. Had the street sense as well, but also was book smart at the same time. So, yeah, man, 19 years ago yesterday, R.I.P. to the great Biggie Smalls. Yes, sir. Man, thank you so much for celebrating 100,000 listens / downloads to the Doug Stewart Show. I really do appreciate it. Continue to pass the word and tell people. Shouts out to all of the Stewies today in the chat room that celebrated this monumentous occasion. Thank you so much. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Shouts out to Tree. Tree, thanks for all that you did today in making the Doug Stewart Show do what it do. I really do appreciate it. Shouts out to my man Waterhead Walter, CJ to DJ. Thank y'all so much. Who else we got? Oh, Gerald Oliveri. Really appreciate it. And also to my man Dwayne Bassan. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. And oh yeah, to the dogs and the poodles, all of the Stewies. Thank you. Thank you. Can't say it enough. 100,000, 4,000 followers. Real soon here. Thank you so much. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.